Shalom, family trendsetter. All praises be to the Most High. I am out and about, as you can see and hear, so you will hear some noise in the background. Now, I want to give y'all an analogy. Actually, it's not even an analogy. It's more or less like an experience that I had. I remember some time ago, I went to a fish market, and I took my kids with me, and I was showing them the different, seafood area. I was showing them the live tilapia section, and then we came across a barrel with crabs in it, right? A barrel with crabs in it. And it was a bunch of crabs in the barrel trying to escape out of the barrel. And as one crab got close to escaping, another crab, I'm sure y'all know where I'm going with this shit, right? With the analogy, like crabs in a barrel. And as one crab almost got to the top to escape, another crab climbed on that crab, trying to escape, pulling him down. And then you have it's almost like a line of crabs pulling each other down, trying to escape, pulling each other down. Instead of like working together, trying to get out. Maybe if one crab got out and shit, maybe he could use his hands and pull the other ones out. I'm just saying, right? So that's what we observe in the fish market. And it brought me back to this whole election with Trump. They said a lot of black men, 50%, that's a lot. I don't know how they got that number, but I don't know how they got that number, I should say. But they said 50% of black men and 50% of Latin men voted for Donald Trump. So if it's true, these group of men that voted for Donald Trump, what was the incentive for doing so? Like, what did Trump offer them? Now, let's start with the Latino men that voted for Donald Trump. Donald Trump made it known over and over again that he's going to deport many migrants. Many migrants are from Latin America, right? Many migrants are from Latin America. He said he's going to deport many migrants. As a matter of fact, he gave a number. At least 11 million migrants is going to be returned back to their country, which I don't think that's going to be the case. They're going to put y'all in internment camps and put y'all back in slavery. But anyway, and then you have black men that hate women, black women, they voted for this asshole. Now, I hear the argument that they have, or the excuse that they have as to why they voted for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris didn't give us nothing for us to vote for, didn't give us any incentive. No crime bill was passed. No reparation, was given to us. And I asked myself, and I'm asking y'all goofies this question. When Donald Trump was in office, did he pass a crime bill for y'all? Did he give y'all reparation? Did he even discuss reparation for y'all motherfuckers? So over 8 years ago, right, y'all had an opportunity to persuade Donald Trump, for this election. Was he persuaded to give y'all any incentive other than vote for me and shit, other than going to some barbershop, sitting with some coon niggas, or going to a black church with his supporter, white supporters in the motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Y'all are some, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm talking to niggas, family. I'm not even talking to black folks. I'm talking to niggas, the one that voted for this goofy man. Y'all are gonna deserve what y'all get, what's to come. Because see, Donald Trump told y'all what he's gonna do. Even if he believed he was gonna lose out of anger, he told y'all what the fuck is gonna happen if he get back into office. Now I'm sure Donald Trump knew he was gonna go back. Because he know one thing with America, when it comes to black people, a black woman president at that, he knows enough that, white people gonna be on cold. All these fucking so-called Democrats that said they're gonna vote Democratic for the Democratic Party. Nah, when they went into that booth, they reconsidered shit. They say, nah, we don't want this black woman in office ruling over us, telling us what to do. You know what I'm saying? Many people, of course, use the economy and shit, say, oh, the economy is fucked up. We got all these influx of migrants, which is correct. I said the same thing too. But the question is this: who was in charge of fucking up this economy? It's always a white man. The last time a black man was in office, the economy went great for 2 consecutive terms. until a so-called white man, just like anything they put their hands on, and I'm not trying to disrespect all white people, but white men always fuck shit up. If they don't blow shit up with missiles and nuclear weapons and bombs and shit, they go into your country and they tear that shit apart. When they want to take over an African country or let's say a Middle Eastern country, they put their puppet in there, and as soon as they put their hands on the shit goes to shit. White folks cannot run the world. Y'all would make a good job of destroying the motherfucker, but y'all cannot run the world. Y'all don't do a good job. You know what I'm saying? So instead of saying, let's just see what Kamala's bring to, she told us she told us what she was gonna do for us. She told us, and the shit sounded good. Even if it's not true, it's better than the alternative, because Trump don't have a plan. All Trump did during his so-called candidacy, right, or his rallies and shit, all he talked about was what we was doing to him and what was being done to him. Trump ain't give us nothing. All he said, I'm going to deport. The only thing he really had to run on was the immigration crisis and shit that we're dealing with. Other than that, he couldn't even talk about the economy as much, because as much as the economy is messed up, it's not just here in America. It's a worldwide thing. After the pandemic, it affected the whole world. But you had the stock market bouncing back. You had the economy. Yeah, the gas prices and food prices were still high. But that's a given. You know what I'm saying? This man is talking about he's going to bring forth turf, and turf is like the gospel and shit. Like, and people getting excited about turf. Don't realize what turf is, the turf shit that he's saying he's gonna put sanction on these other countries. It's going to affect us. We're going to pay for that shit. But because you have a lot of uneducated dummies, right? Uneducated, goofy ass, low IQ, white people, white supremacist niggas, because you do have white supremacists in the black community, Candace Owens, i.e., you know what I'm saying? So we have to understand, family, that this shit is not going to be a smooth ride. I hate to say it. I know a lot of us depending on Jesus Christ and depending on Yah and, God and all this shit. Nah, this shit's going to be a rough situation for us to go through for the next 4 years. Hopefully, he won't be here for too long, because I suspect something is wrong with him. I think his health is fucked up. I think his health is pretty much going to take him out. If not that, it's going to be another alternative, because I know for a fact when they start to go through the shit, one thing with white people, they don't like to go through hard times and shit. They like shit easy. So when they realize what was done, because again, out of hate and supremacy, you know what I'm saying? I don't want that black bitch in office. Are you kidding me? Motherfucker, I'd rather take Trump. It's a kind of reminder like the so-called New Testament story, right? With Jesus and Barabbas. Give us Barabbas. You know what I mean? So Jesus Christ, according to the story, if this shit existed, which is it's a made-up story, but the story was kind of cool. Jesus came for these people, showed them miracles, did all this shit for them, right? But in the end, they chose Barabbas. You know what I'm saying? They chose a fucking murderer. And this is what the American people remind me of, these white people and shit, because they running this shit. They call the shots, whether y'all know it or not. They remind me of the story of Jesus Christ and Barabbas. They chose motherfucking Trump over Kamala Harris, who haven't really gotten a chance to show, because everybody said, oh, she's a part of Biden administration. Biden is an undercover racist. Y'all need to go back to that video, the 1994 bill that he signed against us and shit. Y'all need to go back and remember what he said. He called us a predator, just like that Hillary bitch that I don't like. She called us a predator too. You know what I mean? Y'all have like little, man, let me tell you something, family. I believe what is gonna go down with Trump. It is the most I will, because he did say 2/3 of the population is gonna be gonna be purged and shit. And there is a purge coming. That purge election movie that they had, that shit's gonna come to pass. It may not come exactly how they scripted it and shit, but trust me. Because once he start trying to round up migrants and regular folks too, black people, regular American-born citizen, black American citizen, as well as Hispanic people that was born here as a citizen, y'all gonna be rounded up too. Trust me. What they're trying to do, they're trying to make America white again. That's what they're trying to do. Because their fear is this, right? They white fragility. This is their fear. Their fear is that the Hispanic and the black people, we're gonna take over this motherfucker, and they're gonna become the minority. They're already the minority throughout the world because they're not reproducing fast enough. You know what I'm saying? Their genetics is so messed up that they're not giving birth. This is why you see all these commercials and these shows. You know, what do you call it? What's that word I want to use? Promoting, biracial relationships and shit, interracial relationships. You ever notice these commercials? Or you see a white woman with a black man or vice versa. Because they need us. But at the same time, because of Trump narcissistic ways, right? And his bigotry and racism way, he like, man, fuck it. We will figure this shit out on our own. But they're not going to be able to do it on their own. Because they need black and brown people for their species to survive. I call them species because they're hybrids. They're not real human beings. Or they might be real human because that word human is ambiguous. That's a word that they created. Right? But we are ether beings. We're the sun people, believe it or not. That's why the melanin that the Most High blessed us with and cursed them with that non-melanin skin complexion, it shows who is actually the dominant race on this prison planet. So family, for these crabs in a barrel, right? Listen, just brace yourself. Pray to your God, whoever your God is and shit, and just ask him, her, it to protect you from what's to come, because it's about to get real. Trump ain't gonna have no motherfucking pushback anymore. He gonna have all yes man. Because Trump, his admiration is to be a dictator. And dictator ain't gonna have nobody that's gonna give him no fight. You know what I'm saying? No pushback. This is why he's having like Elon Musk and that Kennedy Jr. motherfucker in his administration, because these people are idiots. They in other words, the Kennedy dude, right? He's a fucking lawyer. Like, what is he doing being in charge of the healthcare? Because these are all conspiracy theories and shit. And sometimes it's not even a theory. It's a conspiracy, but it's not a theory because this shit is happening. And some of the stuff that they actually, I'm going to be honest with you, some of the shit that Trump wanted to redo, right? It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because all the fluoride in the water, yeah, I've been saying that shit for a long time, that the fluoride in the water and the toothpaste is not good for us and shit. It's making us dumb down. It's fucking us up. And my thing is this, if they have non-fluoride toothpaste, I mean, in other words, if fluoride is so good for you, why do they have non-fluoride toothpaste, like Tom's toothpaste? I mean, it doesn't make sense. That's what I use. I use non-fluoride toothpaste because I did my research on what fluoride toothpaste do. And that's one of the things. So what they do, right, family, they have used a lot of logic, right, to try to garner support, because people, most people, they want shit done the right way, right? Some of these fucking food that we eat, it got so many chemicals in it, and the FDA, they allow it because they're trying to depopulate us. If you go to Europe, and like I made a video some time ago, you go to Europe and shit, and see some of the shit on their shelf. Some of the shit you won't see in Europe, we have it on our shelves. That's what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what America does. America is trying to get rid of, there's too many of us. So they put all these products, these cereals, Fruit Loops, and all this shit with the dye in it, the artificial dye, and the shit. And even the Doritos, I used to love Doritos. I stopped dealing with it now because all the shit that's in it. So yeah, some things that the Republican stands for, yeah, I can rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they talk about, a woman shouldn't have the right to go and kill unborn. But you can't do it like that. You can't put it across the board that you're going to take away a woman's right. Because there are circumstances where a woman has to make that choice in order to save her life or the baby's life. In most cases, her life. So you can't just say, you know what, I'm going to do away with abortion. I'm going to do away with birth control. The reason why they're doing away with it, y'all don't understand why they're doing away with this shit. It ain't because of us, black people. It's because of them. They're literally fucking depleting. So they have to reverse the shit. And y'all not seeing it for what it is. For them, they don't care who suffers at the end of the day. They don't want people having abortion when it comes to white babies. They don't want white women aborting white babies. That's what I want to say. Because y'all would be surprised to know that white people have more abortion than black folks. Y'all will be surprised to know that shit. Spanish ain't doing it much because, them motherfuckers like roaches and shit, right? But I hope and pray that, Trump will decide to turn a blind eye when it comes to the Hispanic community because it was Latino men, 50% Latino men that voted for him. Let's see if this shit's gonna work. Let's see if y'all gonna try to garner his support or garner his sympathy or empathy, which he don't have because he's a narcissist, psychopath. Y'all think y'all gonna he gonna be like, oh well, they voted for me, let me leave them alone. Yeah, right. Good luck with that shit. But anyway, family, just wanted to make the short video. With that, I'll say shalom. Oh yeah, I need to add this before I complete this video. Now, a lot of y'all Christians, right, who talk about the mark of the beast in Revelation in that New Testament book that was written by the Romans, do y'all know if it's true that y'all already took the mark of the beast? Do y'all know that shit? When y'all got baptized, including myself and shit, I got baptized 4 times and came out, and guess what? I'm still was doing my thing. But a lot of y'all who talk about the mark of the beast, y'all already took the mark of the beast. Because when you accept Jesus Christ as your personal savior and got baptized in his name, believe it or not, you have taken the mark of the beast. This is why you hear Trump saying he's going to give the church, I can't say the word, evangelical Christians, I think that's what it's called, right? All rights. He's going to empower them. And that's why a lot of y'all Christians actually vote Republican, or in this case, MAGA, because of what the Christian church has taught y'all. Oh, it's immoral for abortion. Oh, it's immoral for homosexuality. Let me ask y'all this question. Are we not living in motherfucking hell? Don't we have righteous and unrighteous people living amongst each other? So what gives you the right to say what's moral and what's not, other than that was taught to us by a book? Am I endorsing or encouraging homosexuality? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I'm against that shit. But to each his own, because I am not God, or in y'all case, Jesus, to judge anybody. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they're going to have to give an account for their own sins. But a lot of y'all like to put people in hell because they don't believe in a certain doctrine, such as y'all talking about the mark of the beast, not realizing you motherfuckers already took the mark of the beast. And I have another question for y'all Christians, you black Christians, right? That's actually democratic. Didn't many of y'all, I'm sure, went on y'all knees and prayed to Jesus and shit, or God, because y'all believe Jesus is God, for Kamala Harris to be the next president? Didn't a lot of y'all do that shit? I could guarantee I'm talking to one right now. But let me ask you this question. Did the white man God answer your prayer? Was your prayers answered by Jesus? Didn't Trump go back into office? Didn't I tell y'all in past video that Jesus Christ is not the God of the Hebrews, the black people? It's the God of the Romans, the so-called white man. This is why when you had the slave master and the slave going into church, you had the slave probably praying for freedom, and you had the slave master praying for more slave. And at the end of service, who prayer got answered when he walked out of church? The fucking slave went back into slavery, and the slave master probably got like 3 or 4 more slave added to his, to his batch, probably by the end of the week. So the question I have is this: why do y'all believe Jesus Christ came to save anybody? He couldn't even save himself. And in the Bible, Galatians 13:3, I think it is, it says, curses in a man that's hanging on the tree. I gave y'all videos after videos about that. So if Jesus Christ is a curse, became a curse for us, why are y'all worshiping a curse? And why didn't Jesus Christ answer you Christians, you Democrat Christians, prayers, right? You black folks that go to church and worship Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Why didn't he answer your prayer to elect Kamala Harris? You know why? Because y'all are praying to Lucifer, a.k.a. Satan, a.k.a. the devil, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. Our prayers will never get answered as long as we keep on worshiping another God other than the Most High. And in closing, for those of you who don't know, even in the Old Testament, there were 2 entities in the Old Testament referring themselves as God. You had the Most High God that was silent in the Old Testament, and you had Lucifer that was always presenting himself in the Old Testament. Because see, the Most High said for 6 days he wasn't going to deal with us.
That equivalent to 6,000 years, because see, a lot of y'all goofies believe when the Bible says he created the heaven and earth, 6 days he labor, and the seventh day he rests. Y'all think it's a literal man day. Nah, dummies. It was 6,000 years it took him for him to create, according to the Bible, that is, the earth. Because remember, 1,000 years to men is like a day for the Most High, according to the scriptures. So I hope and pray that y'all who prayed for Trump to be elected because of the Christian teaching, these Bible-thumping fucking idiots, you know what I'm saying, going along to get along. You know, these goofy-ass, dumbass black Christians always like to condemn people because they don't believe in Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something. I'm an anti-motherfucking Christ. But I'm not an anti-Messiah, because King David is going to be my Messiah. Not no Roman Greco sun god deity called Jesus Christ. Your fucking savior. Is he saving any of us? Or are we still getting gunned down with all these thousands and thousands of churches in our community? These fucking statues of Jesus Christ in y'all homes. Is he saving y'all loved ones when they get gunned down in the street? Is the poverty level being depleted in our community, or is it increasing? A lot of y'all go to church every Sunday praying to this demigod, and y'all fucking condition still remains. I am pissed off, fam. I'm pissed off at these dumbass niggas that actually voted for this fucking hybrid tyrant. But I hope and pray y'all can deal with this shit, because worst case scenario, shit hit the fan, I will deport myself out this motherfucker, because I wasn't born here. My ancestors came from America, believe it or not, Turtle Island, migrated, you know, through the transatlantic slave trade, because a lot of the slaves was taken from here, taken to the Caribbean, whether y'all know it or not. A lot of black people were already here. A lot of the slaves that you saw here, a lot of slaves that was already here in America, they was born in this bitch. This is our land. This is our fucking land. Not no Native American mongoloids, Mexican, or whatever you want to call them. The original copper colored people owned this motherfucker. And they duped y'all into believing that we all came from Africa. No, we didn't. This is our shit. But you know what? I really hope Trump put that whip out on your asses for voting for him. Family, I ain't gonna lie. I am so fucked. Every time I try to, like, forget about this shit, put it behind me, I can't. Because just to know that we had an opportunity, right, to have the first black Madam President in this motherfucker to help us out. How do we know she wouldn't have gave us reparation later on? Who knows what the Most High intended? But you know what happened? A lot of time the Most High put us to a test, and we always fail this shit. This is why we continue to have that spiritual yoke of iron around our necks. But anyway, family, I gotta go. Stay tuned for the next one. Shalom.